Okay guys, here we go with some hints for homework sheet. It says 5 on the sheet, but it's actually number 6, just a wee typo. Now this sheet has a whole variety of questions going from really easy to really hard, so let's have a wee look at them. Question 1. Use the appropriate formula to calculate the mean and the standard deviation. Well, I'm hoping this is one of the easier ones for you. So you work out the mean number by adding them all up and then dividing by 6, because you've got 6 numbers there. Then you set up your little table, x, x bar, x minus x bar, and then x minus x bar squared. Okay, remember you should be adding up this number here and it should be 0, and then you need to add all of these ones up so we can work out the standard deviation. And remember, the standard deviation part of the question is the square root of this number here divided by 5. Why 5? Because it's 1 less than the numbers that you've got. Okay, for part B you need to do your explanations, so you need to mention average and you need to mention how spread out or how consistent your numbers are, your data is. For question 2, now we'll go from a relatively easy question to quite a difficult question, especially the first part. Show that the length of the rectangle is. Okay, now they've got the same perimeter, so that means that if you add up the 2x add 2, then another 2x add 2, then another 2x add 2, and then another 2x add 2, that should be the same as adding up these 4 sides. Okay, so if we add the green ones up first of all, there are 4 2x's and there are 4 2's. So the green perimeter is 8x add 8. If we add the red one up, then there's an x plus 3 on either side, so that's 2x's add 6. Okay, that's because we've got an x plus 3 here and another x plus 3 here. Now please note I'm just calling the bottom side L. So if I'm calling the bottom side L, then I must be calling the top side L. So the total perimeter would be adding 2 L's on. If I rearrange this formula, 2L plus 2x plus 6 equals 8x add 8. Now if I take the 2x over, and then if I take the add 6 over, that's going to leave me with 2L equals. And if I know what 2L is, then I can work out what one of them is, which should be the same as the question. Okay, the second part should be much easier than the first part. Okay, we're told the perimeter of the square is 36. Now, from our work on the previous question, we know the perimeter is 4 of these, so that's 8x add 8. Question tells us that that is equal to 36. So if you solve that little equation, you'll get what x equals. Once you know what x is, you can then apply that to your rectangle, because you know the bottom is 3x add 1. So that will be 3 of this number added to 1. And we know this side is x add 3, so we just add that to 3, and then the area will be those 2 times together. Question 3, a bit simpler. We'll try to work out the perimeter of this arc. Now the question tells us this is 12. We need to work out what the angle is in here. Okay, we know that it's been split into 5 bits, so 360 divided by 5 gives us the size of each bit. We can now work out the arc length by using the formula arc length is the angle at the centre divided by 360 times pi times the diameter. The diameter, remember, is going to be double the 12. Once you've worked that out, the question does ask you for the perimeter of the shape, so you're going to have to add the straight bit on, the other straight bit on, and then the arc on. Okay, so 12 plus 12 plus your answer up here gives your final answer. Question 4, we have Newtown. Oops, we moved that across there. We have Newtown, which has 50,000 people in it. We have Old Town, which is 108,000. Newtown increases by 5%, so times 1.05. Old Town is decreasing by 20, so we're going to times that by 0.8. And that's going to give you how much is there after 1 year and how much is there after 1 year. Then all you have to do is repeat it for the second year, the third year, and so on until this number here gets bigger than the Old Town number. Similar triangles, so let's split them up. Small triangle, big triangle. Small triangle is 12 on that side, 8 on that side. Big triangle, 20 on that side, and x add 8. Okay, we're going to set up the ratios. So we're going to use this side and this side for the first ratio, 12 over 20. And then we're going to use the 8 and the x plus 8 for the second ratio. So 8 over x plus 8. Now we're going to solve that by cross multiplying. So 12 times x, 12 times 8 equals 20 times 8. Well, you can solve it from there. Question 6, another similar question. This one's to do with the scale factors. So, first thing we need to work out is the linear scale factor. Now, because we're trying to find a value which is on the small shape, then it's a small number that goes on the top. So that's 6 over 9, which we can cancel down to 2 over 3. The volume scale factor is going to be 2 over 3 cubed, remember. And then the new price is going to be that value that you've just worked out times the £54. Try and do it without a calculator. You can actually do this one without a calculator. Don't just go and grab your calculator. Try and do it without the calculator. Last question is probably the easiest one of the lot. Solve a quadratic equation. We need to use the formula. So identify your A, identify your B, identify your C, and then just plug all of those values into that formula. Remember, two significant figures means your answer is only allowed to have two numbers in it. Okay, unless you start with 0 point. That's it, guys. Hope it helps.